heritage is always present and will remain when we have passed on. It can be something visible, like buildings and national monuments, and also less tangible things such as rituals, practices, and the like. As we grow old, what we count as our heritage also grows old, because we think it benefits humankind. Our heritage needs to be maintained, and maintenance costs can be very high. Should we not allow some heritage to die? If so, on what basis do we decide this?
And I guess most of us think of heritage as being the very old, as something that is old and something that we actually cherish. But of course, the definition of heritage has widened and continues to widen over a number of years. And so now we talk about heritage of the more recent past. Now this is a radio telescope. It's in the UK, it's in England, it's a place called Jodrell Bank, and the UK is trying very hard to have this inscribed as World Heritage. So this becomes heritage. For many of us, it is heritage. And of course, the more heritage that we have in the world, the more heritage there is that is at risk. And most states have a list of those heritage sites which are prioritised and those which are thought to be at risk. In the 1920s, it was demolished. Modernisation. So what was built? This was built on the site. And what they did, they made it look a little bit like a fort. So they kept that sort of the tradition, that familiarity. So this is Fort Macquarie, still known as Fort Macquarie. It became a tram depot, a tram terminus in the 1920s. Until 1967, when on this very site, this was built. Sydney Harbour Opera House, Sydney Opera House, of course, is World Heritage. That is listed on the World Heritage List. So, some heritage has to die to let other heritage come through. How and why do societies allow heritage to grow old? Is it good for heritage? Just in the same way, is it good to keep a loved one alive, even though it is in a very bad condition? Is it good for society? Certainly costs a lot of money to do it. We heard that yesterday. Should we not allow some of our heritage to die? And if so, how do we decide this? And who decides? One of the interesting things which has happened fairly recently is now we are better placed than ever because of technology, because of recording. We can let things die and we can record them. We can make records of them. We can digitize these things. We can digitize materials in ways which we couldn't have imagined before. And so we sometimes use this term palliative care for heritage. We let heritage die naturally, gracefully, and we record it for posterity and let the heritage fade away. And that may be an option because we cannot preserve everything. If we just had preserved Bangkok as a series of old buildings, which might be very interesting, there would be no room for development. How do we create more space for the future? How do we create the heritage of the future? The buildings now, which in 50 or 100 or 200 years will become heritage. So look around you in the city, look at the buildings, the iconic buildings, the buildings which express various aspects of humanity, and think about they may be the heritage of the future. and we may have to let some of the old heritage die very gracefully.